Hi folks, well, everybody there, okay. About the AirAsia 8501. Whoa, I have seen the news about this airplane from heading from Indonesia to Singapore. So, what is the reason of telling you things about an Airbus A380 from AirAsia lost around the waters of Indonesia? So, let me tell you the whole concept of things, the whole concept of AirAsia. Even though there were Korean airliners about their Asiana, and I don't know, well, probably there might be a Korean airline, maybe a Korean air crash in the Netherlands heading to Amsterdam pretty soon. That would happen. But most of all, let me talk to you about this Pacific incident, the Boeing 777. Maybe that flight from the Boeing 777 was from Malaysia Airlines. Well, the airplane was built in the USA. Maybe it could be a really old plane, and maybe they didn't have any maintenance on that airplane. Right? Maybe the lack of maintenance. Maybe. Anyway, it will be trustworthy. I rather trust made in America than made in China. And that's the reason where I go into the conclusion with this thing. The first incident with dangerous Chinese-made products was killer toothpaste. You remember the killer toothpaste? Yes, killer toothpaste has killed people. You know, Chinese-made toothpaste, knockoffs of Crest. People get murdered of knockoffs of Crest for like so many times that they have to remove it out of the marketplace. You know, any Crest knockoff, any Colgate knockoffs, you know, definitely they coming from China. It has element for antifreeze. That toothpaste you could use for coolant for your car. You could use a genuine Crest or the genuine Colgate that is safe for you for your mouth. Well, I'm going to more topic of Chinese-made products, the Chinese-made toys. The Chinese-made toys have tainted products, tainted paint. Well, this is having an accord with products from Japan because Japan is safer than China, and other Asian countries, you know, considered to be safer than China. Well, I guess there's going to be a possibility why. Now, the Chinese drywall. The time that you could remember the Chinese drywall. People buying new houses. Their new house smells like shit. And every time that their new house have a shitty smell, it used to go like, smells like shit, you know. Then they definitely seen why their house smells like shit is because their drywall is from China, and it has given them respiratory problems and stuff because their house smelling like shit, you know. And now the incident now goes, and this is where I go to the situation of AirAsia. This is another case of a made in China case, a made in China recall of this. Well, certainly I saw a video on YouTube. Airbus has a factory in China, in Tianjin, China. Tianjin is where is a factory. It's where they make an Airbus A320. Supposedly they say that is going to be made for Chinese carriers, right? Well, it's kind of bullshit because AirAsia has ordered a bunch of A320s from Airbus Tianjin factory in China. That, you know, most of the airplanes that AirAsia went there, you know, maybe if I want to go to Thailand, I don't gotta ride fucking AirAsia. You know, stick with American and ride an American-made airplane instead of a Chinese-made piece of garbage. You know, then suddenly the case was finally clear that I noticed where I tag. The 8501 from AirAsia is built at Airbus Tianjin factory in China. You know, the 8501 is built in Tianjin. The country of origin of that airplane is from Tianjin, is from China. The factory is in Tianjin, China. You know, like Airbus opens that factory in Tianjin, China. Tianjin is the home place where they built the 8501, the one that has lost in Indonesia. And that's the case may be. I mean, I'll be more trustworthy because I've seen another video that Airbus is opening a factory in Alabama. You know, I'll rather ride on an Airbus bus built in Alabama than an Airbus built in Tianjin, like the 8501 from AirAsia, where they built it in Tianjin, China. And that's the thing of lack of some reason why. The only reason why, if you ride AirAsia and you ride the Airbus A320, get off of it. You know, if you look on Airbus A320, most likely if AirAsia does have Boeings. If you ride in a Boeing aircraft and there's a Boeing aircraft and riding AirAsia, I prefer to get a ticket ride on the AirAsias with a Boeing aircraft. If it's the A320, then most of the A320s that AirAsia has are built in China, and that's the reason why that 8501 has went down. It's built in Tianjin. It's built in Tianjin, China. The only reason I believe that Airbus could do with the 8501 incident, close down the Tianjin, China factory, have Alabama to replace Tianjin, because whenever AirAsia decide, if they see the Tianjin company, the Tianjin factory is closed, for real, it sucks, but have to sacrifice Chinese workers, right? It is more likely for safety reasons, closing the Tianjin, China factory and move production to Alabama. And that is for next year. Hopefully next year, when the Alabama factory opens, the Tianjin factory needs to be closed. That means everybody is safe and have safe, happy flying. And like A320s are built in France and Germany and even China, because this is the last Chinese built Airbus, is the one from AirAsia. And the rest replace them from the ones built in France or replace them with the Alabama built ones. And my suggestions of whatever it is with the Airbus seeing this, you know what is the suggestions? The Tianjin factory, close the Tianjin factory, open up a factory in Japan. Yeah, open up an Airbus factory in Japan, work out with Nissan. Have this Nissan Airbus merge at Kyushu factory, you know, and build the A320s in Fukuoka, Japan. And that's what it is, so they could have a newer facility where they build Nissan cars, and Nissan and Airbus merged together. And that one is a perfect replacement for the Tianjin factory. Korea is not recommended. It will have more accidents when they're built in Korea. That's a main fact of all these things. And let me tell you about this. Even the Airbus people are in everything. The number one reason why the Airbus A320 of AirAsia's 8501, that their airplane is built at Tianjin, China. The home of the 8501 is Tianjin. It started from Tianjin. It was delivered to AirAsia, and this is the result of what had happened with the Made in China recall, or another Made in China problem. The Airbus A320 8501 is built at Airbus Tianjin facility in China, and that is the reason why for that AirAsia's accident. Hopefully, if Korean Air have an accident with another A320 built in China, an accident in Amsterdam, meaning that what's going on, that let me tell you what will happen if there will be another accident with a Chinese built A320, an airplane accident of Korean Air happening in Holland, in Amsterdam. Number one reason will happen. There'll be the black box, where they going or where they're heading when that Korean airliner from Korean Air has an accident in Amsterdam, Netherlands. The majority of the people going from Seoul, Korea to have an accident in Amsterdam, Holland will be women. Why women? Because most of them are Korean nationals, and most of these women in that airplane, when there's an accident in Holland on an A320, a Chinese built A320 served by Korean Air, would be prostitutes. They're Korean, although first of all, the incident, when there's the accident from Korean Air in Holland heading to Amsterdam, will be they might find the black box. All of them are all the passengers that died are Korean nationals, and all the passengers are women. Why? Because they're prostitutes. Plain and simple. Goodbye, folks, and take care. Peace out.